Sadly, we are living in a two-tier society. It's undeniable. If you or people around you have second thoughts about it or you doubt it, you really need to be aware of this case. The case of Labour councillor Ricky Jones. Last year, he called for, he incited to violence. There's no other way to talk about it. Let's listen to what he said.
They hurt. We've got children and women using those trains. It's doing to some relatives. They are disgusting, nasty bastards. And we need to cut their throats and get rid of them all.
Right, so this is clear incitement to violence. He said, and that's a disgusting message, that he called essentially for people's throats to be slashed. I don't see how this was seen to be as anything other than an incitement to violence. Let us see what happened here. I spoke in the heat of the moment, councillor says. This is an article from the BBC. It was published on the 12th of August. A Labour councillor who called for far-right protesters' throats to be cut at a rally told police that his comments were made in the heat of the moment, a court has heard. Jurors were shown a video of Ricky Jones, 58 years old, calling demonstrators disgusting Nazi fascists while addressing a crowd in Walthamstow on 7th of August last year. Mr. Jones, who also said in this video, quote, "We need to get rid of them all," close quote, told police that his remarks were ill-advised. Right, so this video went viral. All of us knew it, but what was interesting is that he wasn't directly judged. This verdict, according to which he is basically innocent, took about a year. In other people's cases where they haven't gone that far, they have been jailed. An example is Lucy Connolly. Right, so let's go here last minute. In a prepared statement submitted at the police station on his behalf, the councillor said his comments were not intended to be taken literally by anyone or to encourage or incite violence. Excuse me, sorry, this is just absolute nonsense. Anyone who believes this is just an idiot, right? It's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. He said he was referring specifically to an incident where a National Front Rights for Whites stickers had been stuck on a train with a hidden razor blade behind it. This has made me very upset, he said. Mr. Jones said in a statement that his comments were made in the heat of the moment and that he was extremely sorry. He added, "I was not invited to speak on microphone until the last minute, and I had not planned or thought about what I was going to say in advance." Well, this isn't exactly something that makes him look innocent. Actually, sometimes these are the best moments to see exactly what's on people's hearts and minds. They are moments where they don't have time to think that much and prepare their response or prepare and draft a strategic rhetoric in order to appear palatable. These are moments where people frequently show their real face. Right, Mr. Jones, who had been advised not to attend the demonstration, told jurors that he felt it was his duty to attend counter-protests. Right, so we have here difficulties appeared mild. A medical report by experts from the prosecution and defense agreed that Mr. Jones suffers from a number of neurodivergent challenges. Believe that if you want. He's a Labour councillor, he's 58, and suddenly neurodivergent challenges are being discovered. And not only being discovered, they function as reasons that are being appealed to in order to claim that he was not morally culpable for what he was saying, for what is at least a contamination of public discourse and the spreading of absolute hatred in society. Because let's be very clear, We know very well how people from Labour and people from the establishment use the word fascist and Nazi. They don't use it in the historical sense. They mean their political enemies. When you're using this in order to describe people from all walks of life, and not just those who are believers of these doctrines, but also people who are protesting against what they consider to be a disastrous open border policy that the government follows, essentially you're demonizing them. And the establishment knows very well how demonization functions. It's the beginning of a long process which intends to present some people as having no rights. And when the belief that they have no rights becomes widespread across society, then depriving and violating their rights becomes more and more easy for evil governments. So I don't buy this. They say the agreed facts read by Mr. Holt stated, the experts agree that these challenges may contribute to impulsive verbal responses in emotionally charged situations. Let's pause here for a minute. Why does this not function as a reason that people appeal to in order to say, for instance, that they are not morally culpable on the other side? It seems to be functioning as an excuse only for people of one side. These challenges can impair his ability to plan responses and inhibit inappropriate remarks. This could lead to Ricky Jones making regrettable statements when he is unprepared. Why is he in politics then? Why is he speaking in public? It looks like he shouldn't be involved in it at all. The prosecution's medical expert, Dr. Scott Mackenzie, said the counsellor's difficulties appeared functionally on the milder side, as demonstrated by his ability to successfully work in senior roles where he has to speak publicly. Then in that case, he shouldn't be in politics. And at some point there comes a question of asking, right, does this function as an excuse for people on the other side? It seems that the establishment doesn't think so. And we see this all across Europe. We see this, for instance, when we are talking about Germany and the crimes, the terrorist hits that happen occasionally, where we have a two-tier approach. We have a very different approach on both sides. We have an establishment that treats every minor thing that could be seen as a sign of opposition to its agenda on several issues as indicative of something far larger, a far-right epidemic, a right-wing extremist epidemic across the board. But when we see crimes committed by members of groups that are the political friends of the left, they are trying to contain it, and they say it's not indicative of something greater, it's not indicative of any call for general call for extremism, it is an isolated incident. It is an incident of mental illness or an impulsive verbal response in emotionally charged situations. So every time they see something that they consider to be critical of some crucial parts of the agenda, they are very happy to brand this as Nazi and as fascist, as indicative of right-wing extremism. And it seems like the way they do this has an actual effect on people. It contaminates discourse. It leads to people of this caliber, like Ricky Jones, to say what they say, and they're getting away with it. You can make up your own mind. And I think that this means that the left is particularly dishonest. And people need to understand this. And let us see also something else about his defense. From Court News UK, Labour councillor Ricky Jones tells court he was racially abused at school. He recalls he had to do PE in his underpants and says he would find spit on his clothes when he returned to the changing room. Obviously, this was disgusting bullying behavior. Absolutely, no doubt about this. But what is the issue here is that when you want to go into politics, you can't treat your personal grievances as the only thing that matters. When you want to go into politics, you accept that there should be some compromise, and compromise requires the putting of grievances away. It requires putting you letting go of some things. But also, let us not forget, if he was bullied, he was bullied by particular individuals. It seems like in this case he has used his grievances with these individuals as an excuse that functions, and he intends this to function as a justification for calling about a very large group of people to be rid of. And excuse me, after a while, I'm just saying no. I don't think that this is remotely appropriate. This kind of grievance politics is unbelievably subversive, and we live in an era of huge polarization across the Atlantic. It's an era of huge polarization. It needs to de-escalate. The last thing the government needs to be doing at the moment is escalating rhetoric and governing in a way that is completely antithetical to the goal of de-escalation.